about to experience the result of hard work and dedication from the City of Champions, Cleveland's own 90th's finest. Self-made, hard-working entrepreneurs, unequivocally raw, no holds barred. This is Epiphany Media.
What's going on, people? Sorry to keep you waiting. As you see, we started up and got right back into it. Got right into it. Ain't leave no time. Uh, since we are down a little bit, just waiting on Byron to come back and throw my man together. Yo, yo.
We on live?
Yes, sir.
What's up, y'all? It's been a minute.
Definitely have. Yeah, man. Let's jump right into it. So, we just want to look. So, this started out as an angry topic, talking about just the differences in generations. You know what I'm saying? And me and Byron in the same generation, close enough in age or whatever. So it started out as a angry thing toward like the younger generation or younger guys, younger males specifically. Uh, but I think it'd be good just to talk about some generational differences in society and the culture and all of that stuff, man. Because it's it's extremely different than when we was growing up, and I'm sure we was different than when our parents or grandparents was growing up too.
Yeah, it's the advances in technology that changed things. Back in our day, we was outside, so you'll get in trouble doing, being outside, in the wrong places with the wrong people. Nowadays, you don't even got to leave the comfort of your home to get into something.
That's a good point. That's a good point. So they say like the different generations change based off of like collective experiences that that you can uh, compare with like a different like other people that's in your group. So I think for like our age range, it was stuff like if you can like remember where you were for like 9/11, if you can like remember your first cell phone, like when you got your first cell phone.
Rev, or I mean North Coast.
North
North Coast.
Coast. Yeah, North Coast for sure. Um, I know I got a funny North Coast story, because they only worked in Ohio only. I remember Ebony was in the Naval Academy. Soon as we got near that Indiana border, man, my phone started. It just powered off. Like as soon as we crossed the border, it just powered off. So if I wanted to call 911, I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, but for us, it was stuff like I said, can you remember where you were for 9/11? Your first cell phone, you creating your MySpace page, like stuff like that, is what group our generation in to be our generation. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, so I think the technology part of that is a good barometer of the start and the stop of most generations. I'd say not all, but most.
Yeah, it most definitely what defines generations. But it's crazy that I don't feel old at all, but our childhood in the '90s is different from people's childhood and the 20 2010s, 2020s. It's a totally different. It's totally different aspect. And I'm like, it seemed the same, but at the same time, it's not. You can look at music. Back in our day, music was a big influencer of things. Whether it was fashion, whether it was the way that you talk. It spread through the music. But now it's spreading faster because of social media, right? Then the type of music is different. Uh, Specifically, drill music is very popular. Now you know, Snoop, NWA, like the you know, the origin of gangster rap. But now it's on some it's on some totally different. Like they're making radio hits talking about some wild things that actually happen, and they put it on the radio. They're cool with that. Like they actually talking about smoking dead people on radio hits. Like it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. I haven't heard that, but I believe it. I've
They
heard
use
songs though.
they use it's what's his name? Young and Ace. And they use that uh you know, what is that? Walking down the street, walking fast.
Oh yeah.
They use that beat, so of course it's catchy. So people that didn't even know what they were talking about, but the song is real disrespectful.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Music is a good barometer too. Um, so Angel said, "I'm not in your group, but I can remember all that stuff too. I'm sure Regina can too." Um, she said, "Music stinks mostly now," which is true, in my opinion. Maybe we're just getting old. We got old ears now, um, but back to this comment. So yeah, and I'm sure you do because you're older than us. But you also remember, stuff that we don't. You know what I'm saying? Like you will remember. You would remember, or you could. I'll say not. This is not specific to each individual, but you could remember. Um, you know, uh, the crack epidemic in the '80s, right? Because you was around for that. So I'm not saying we didn't get the residual effects of that, and how the community was and stuff, but like we wasn't around for it. You know what I'm saying? Even Byron, who was born in the '80s, but he wasn't around. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't living through it in the same way. You know what I'm saying? So of course it's gonna be different stuff depending on your generation. Like, and then the generation before you probably remember, wartime. You know what I'm saying? World War II time. The generation before that, the Bill Cosby generation, the people that's in their 80s now, late 70s, 80s, they probably remember a time before sliced bread. Like, I'm not making a joke, like where they wasn't slicing bread. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, of course it's going to be, stuff that that we don't, or stuff that you can signify that we can't because you're older than us. She said she only feel older when I see people I went to school with who now have adult kids. Yeah, I can see that.
What did you text me this week? Somebody called you OG.
Oh, yesterday. This is yesterday. Called me OG for the. I got called OG for the first time yesterday, and it's not a bad thing, but it is like one of those things. Like, damn, me. Like, That's where I'm at now.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at now.
Yeah, but you don't feel like it mentally and
right. Exactly.
you don't feel just I guess what old to us is, not especially now is brittle, can't move, that's I guess what we consider old, grain, But at that age, they probably yeah, I probably thought people, my age were old, but not at this age. Not really.
Yeah. I'm sure when we was 10, 11, 12, 13, I'm sure you're like, man, 30? Nigga, 30, you're an old man. You're supposed to have a house and a family by 30, or you know what I'm saying? Like 30?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Regina sharing her 9/11 story.
9/11 was a wild time.
It definitely was a wild time.
I didn't. I really didn't want to watch the news because I didn't want to see a plane, flying into the towers. If that happened. Hey, and if you think about it, back then in 2001, the technology, like you could doctor up some images and videography.
Hey, like some
But
comedian
something
said,
happened. Something happened though. We know that it was a disaster. Period.
some some comedian said, "You think it's a fake? Go say that. Go say that shit to them families. You think it's a fake? Go say it to them families."
it's
I think it
not.
was a Chris. I think
not
it was a Chris
that,
Rock or somebody.
it's not fake that a lot of people died, but people just don't believe that a plane could take down a building that was built like that without altering the building from the inside with explosives and cutting steel beams. They say. I'm just saying the science don't add up. The science does not add up to the jet fuel being able to burn those steel beams. I'm just saying it don't add up.
I'm gonna disagree with you. We're just gonna have to have a we're gonna
I'm
have to
not
have a
talking about
conspiracy theory show.
a show on 9/11 because
Yeah, no. Just conspiracy theories. We got to have a conspiracy theory show about all the weird stuff that you be thinking about that it didn't happen, like fake moon landings and all the stuff that you don't believe. You probably believe that you take a spoon and put it to your arm right now to stick to you too, don't you?
no, I never heard of that one.
You got the vaccine, so now you magnetic. They put microchips in. You ain't know.
Nah.
First off, people are stupid because spoons aren't magnetic. Anyway, whatever. That's another thing. Anyway, Angel said, "Do you guys remember Y2K for sure?"
Computers was gonna go out just because the year turned 2000. Yeah.
Nigga, you know what the computer did? Like, oh, okay, it's 2000 now. It's 1/1/2000.
Yeah,
That's
so
it. Like,
literally nothing happened.
like. Anyway, that's funny.
Y2K.
Yeah. So just yeah, Y2K. That's funny. So anyway, um, yeah, just the differences in generations. So what spurred this actual conversation or topic was like witnessing firsthand two separate situations where young black males, I don't know if that matters, but it is what it's a detail in the story, were I don't want to say abusive, but kind of I guess abusive in one situation and uh, verbally abusive in the other situation. Where they were in the relationships that they were in, you know what I'm saying, whatever the dynamic is, just their reaction to whatever the adversity was that they were going through that caused them to be, abusive in some form or fashion. Um, so, men abusing women, like that's not a new thing. Don't get me wrong. Um, that's not a that's not a new thing, but I feel like it was handled differently. It was, this came about. We talk about the mental uh, stability, the mental. Uh, what word am I looking for?
Like the mental strength.
The mental strength of the younger generation. Exactly. Um, yeah, like is it the
Hey,
same? Is it not the same? Is it worse?
but look, I mean, back in our day, way before our day, like having any type of softness in you or any type of mental breakdown wasn't tolerated. it wasn't. It wasn't, especially in the black community. It wasn't thought of as anything that needed to be fixed. You see, you fall down, you hurt your knee, you scrape your knee. You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to cry.
You
No
all
cry.
right? Go ahead, get up. Yeah, you all right?
You know. So growing up like that is, you just taught to have mental toughness, and anything that happened to you, you hold it in. You know. But now it's different because people are encouraging you to go see a therapist if you have something on your mind. Uh, you know, like it's okay to be hurt about something. That's what's trying to come about now. I mean, which theory do you agree with though? Going to see a therapist, or talking about your feelings or whatever, compared to hold that shit in. That's all you need to do about it, and keep it moving.
So of course, I mean, the discovery we have had on this show, um, our masculinity shows and male focused, male centric shows we have been having. Um, it's for anything. It's never good to hold it in. So you got to have some sort of an outlet. Um, you got to have something. You got to be able to get it out somehow. So even if that's talking to somebody, that's talking to your friends or a counselor or somebody, um, that's going to the gun range, like whatever it is that you got to get it out somehow, right? And but I also was a part of it. I grew up in the you all right? Football players don't wear what coach used to tell me, I mean, how you this is like high school too. Man, how you gonna be how you gonna be this angry player, or how you gonna be this dominant player and you wearing like pads on your forearms? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? That make you that make you look weak. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you
Yeah.
got pads on your forearm. Like, they're gonna look at you like you soft. So, mentally, I know like that's fucking stupid. Like, we're out here. I'm my forearm is getting ate up by people for a face mask. There's a reason I started wearing it. You know what I'm saying? People hit me right on my right on my forearm all day, and it hurts. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the whole point of wearing it. If I'm not in pain, then I'm able to perform better. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like none of that shit. Like, it's all a lie and it's all stupid. But that's the generation. That's what we was taught growing up, all the way into high school. You know what I'm saying? All the way throughout high school and beyond. So so even though I understand, and there are perks to both, I completely understand.
Yeah.
Um, but the healthy thing to do is of course to be able to get that evil out of you, so that it's not coming out in the form of hitting your girl. You know what I'm saying? That's not coming out in the form of like a complete breakdown. Man, I seen this. I'm gonna try to find the video in the background. So Byron, you're gonna have to take over for a second. This dude at a job working at a hotel flipped out, completely flipped out because of a customer who was, the video is short, so you don't see like the lead up, but you see Cuz completely flip out, man. And he didn't have the mental strength. He didn't have the mental strength to deal with a customer in that way. You know what I'm saying? Or to just deal with a customer without flipping out, and he did, and boy, that shit is crazy.
Yeah, man. Like you said, having that mindset of if anything happens to you, you got to push through. You got to put that in the back of your mind. You got to have the mental fortitude to move on. Is it is nothing wrong about it, right?
Right.
Because there'd be certain situations where you might be going through something, but it's little. For example, everybody can relate. Well, mostly everybody can relate to this. You don't have enough money to buy enough food to get you through the week, so you got to starve. You got to be hungry, right? Um, for me, that happened, a few times when I was younger, whatever. Being grown, first moved out, and it happened again. But since I've been through it, and I said, this is nothing. I get through this. This doesn't bother me. It bothers me to the point where I got to go get it, but it doesn't bother me to the point where, I'm just having emotional breakdown because I can't eat breakfast today.
Yeah, or a girl called you ugly, so now you can't take it no more, or um, you
Right,
know,
right.
a girl you have a disagreement with a girl, so you take pictures of her in the shower. It's a real thing that happened that I dealt with recently. Dude took pictures. They got into an argument. Dude took pictures of her while she was in the shower and posted them on like Instagram. So she got out, and of course she was mad. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, I don't know if she was trying to hit him or whatever the case was, or maybe he was going to hit her, whatever. But he ended up like slapping her and like punching her lip or something, not crazy hard, but hard enough to make her lip swell. And then of course he took off running or whatever, and then I had to deal with the situation, blah blah blah. But like, Nick, like you can't make it work mentally, like to not do that though. Like that's crazy, man. That's crazy to me.
Uh, really crazy. But yeah, you got people like him, can't deal with rejection, so you you don't have that mental capacity to be like, you know what, she doesn't want to be with me. That's fine. Okay, she can go her way, I'll go my way. I'm gonna work on myself now. You know,
Yeah.
you know, you don't necessarily need a partner. You could live your life, and you'll eventually meet somebody
Well,
who.
if you're a guy, you can.
Uh-huh.
If you're a guy, you can. I don't know about women.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's a Kevin Samuels though. Don't lay
man.
on my face.
But yeah, But as men, we can live our life. We go work out, work on ourselves, get healthy. Focus on us. You
Right.
know. But instead, he decided to try to ruin somebody's life, embarrass them, because he can't handle it.
Yep.
You lose a job. Now you want to come back to the job and go post on everybody. You want to shoot up your job just because you got fired. You
Yep.
can't handle it. You can't go and find another job.
And that goes for women too. We're gonna touch on. Woo! I almost said something weird. Let me rephrase how I was gonna say that. We'll touch on that subject later of young women who.
Bill Cosby getting out, so you feel comfortable saying that. Like, well, he out, so shit, I can say stuff. No, but you were saying what?
We'll touch on that subject of like young women as well here in a second. Damn, Regina. Regina said, "Okay, so my kid was in the 8th grade school shop. He found this pair of shorts that honestly, that was dope." Regina's trying to take my word. I never tell him that because they look dumb as hell on him. They came all the way to his socks anyway. He begged for them. I said, "You know, you look stupid, right?" And fine. He went back and changed. This woman beside me said, "I would never let my brother get those either." LOL. But all of his friends love them, and now after high school, they actually fit where they should be. And he still, Virginia, your comment's so long, it doesn't even fit. It doesn't even fit all on the screen. I'm sure he still loves them. I think is what you're going to say. Um, yeah, but look, so you shot down his dreams. You could have completely hurt his confidence because over some shorts or whatever. Uh, and Regina, did he flip out? Like, did he flip out because he couldn't have the shorts, or you told him no? No, because you end up getting them for him. So what was the catalyst? What was the catalyst for that? And earlier, Angel, I didn't skip your comment. Angel said, if you witness something like that, do you correct the younger males? If you witness, if you're in a situation, I think I know your answer. So it's a funny question. If you witness a younger guy, a younger male, put his hands on a girl or something of that sort, do you correct them? Do you stand in and correct them?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Who like? Hey, can we get more context to the
No,
question?
no, no. Random
What,
young
what,
male.
what setting? You know what I'm saying?
Random young male at you at a local fine establishment. You about to do your review for your review for this week. You walking back to your car with your box of XYZ food, and right in the car next to you, leaning against the car, dude, you hear a little arguing or whatever, dude just smacks her right in your face, right in front of you.
Damn, that's wild.
It is wild.
Nigga, I can't even lie. Like, no, I'm not going to correct
Yeah,
him.
exactly. Yeah, I know your answer. Yeah, of course. All right, so now let me give you a separate thing. We were just talking before we came on air. We talked about some of the young people at your job that you know are pretty cool with. If it was one of them, would you correct them then? If it's somebody that you kind of got a background, some sort of a rapport with.
Yes, yes, and yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
It's, okay.
because yeah, I can't even get into it, but I want,
No, of course.
yeah, but yes, I would because in in that situation, of course I would because it's like you fucking up.
Right. And so I agree with you 100%. If it's
And you have some type of rapport. So,
right,
you know,
exactly. I agree with you 100%. If I got some sort of a rapport with that person, that kid, a younger person, then of course I would say something and correct. If it's a stranger, like what can I say? You know what I'm saying? It's it's not as simple as uh, especially domestic issues, man. Domestic issues is never as simple as this happened once. This just happened. This is the situation for the first time, whatever. Especially you smacking people in public or whatever. This ain't the first time it didn't happen. So I mean, it happened, and she went back with him, or whatever the case is. Like, so I would be cautious to stand in if it was a stranger. I might say something maybe depending, but as far as action and trying to correct them, uh, no, I probably wouldn't do that.
yeah, because you might
If it's
have
a
to
stranger.
intervene with more than just words, and now it becomes a you problem. You know, now things escalate.
Right.
You
Yep.
know, so,
Yeah. And boy, can it escalate.
like
Um,
you know, Denzel was in an Equalizer, right? Part two, um, and in part two, it was a situation where he dropped a young lady off. He had seen that she was beaten, so he went back to the house where she was just at, you know, and he handles the situation about I don't know, it was like 3, 4, 5 dudes in there. He handled all of them, and you know, stuff like that happens in the movies. But in real life, you won't be able to go into somebody's house, beat up everybody. Did he kill the dude? He probably killed him too. It was the Equalizer. Stuff like that wouldn't happen. But that's why you just you keep it moving in that situation.
yeah, yeah, because right, as you said, that's a movie thing, uh, or usually got. I mean, even being like a special ops person, to have like the training, the time, like it's just movie. It's just fictional. It's a great movie. You know what I'm saying? But it's just not it's not a real thing. You know what I'm saying? The John Wicks is not a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just not. So, and we all high character or want to be high character, and we all want to think we'll stand up and do the right thing. And so, to a certain extent, we might, depending. But man, just like you gotta fight your own fight. You know what I'm saying? Self preservation is number one on the list of life. So it's we all want to be the superhero, but when you're smart about it, it doesn't always add up. It doesn't always fit. You know, what I'm saying your narrative for your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me see. Angel said I've come out of character a few times recently, but it was by choice. Just a little fed up with some bull. I completely understand that. Regina said a bunch of little problems add up to a big flip. That's true, but that's where mental strength comes into play. And I'm not saying that even the strongest person can break down mentally, but I feel like you're supposed to build and be more, you're supposed to be better than your parents or better than the generation before in a number of things. It's not just financially, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. So that should be your mental strength should be better than your parents. You know what I'm saying? Because you took their DNA and took what they were able to do. Now you should build on that and become stronger. Um, but that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen a ton. It doesn't seem that way with this younger generation, even though they have more resources to, um, teledoc stuff like that, where you don't have to personally go, set aside time to go to see a counselor, or somebody to talk to. Ask our own Ebony J if looking for a social worker, somebody to talk to about your problems and stuff you got going on, and you don't. It can be in person, but it doesn't have to be in person.
Hey, seeing a counselor or a therapist can be seen as being weak. Like you can't handle your shit, so you have to go to somebody else to talk about your problems. You know.
Well,
Uh,
I get it for sure.
um. Uh, damn. What's the the main character from Sopranos?
Tony, I don't know.
Tony. Yeah, Tony Soprano. He was seeing a counselor, and he couldn't let anybody know because he would have been killed.
Right.
Would have been seen as weak. You talking to a counselor? What are you saying to this? You saying everything that's going on. So to some people, you can't. But it's not though. Because in his situation, he's seen some crazy psychotic things. Like his uncle was psychotic, his mother was crazy. Uh, his father was crazy. I can't wait to see the movie that come out, but that's another story. Um, but so yeah, sometimes you got to talk to somebody to get that shit out because it ain't like you can just talk to a regular person about just wild shit because not everybody has experienced that. People
Even though you should be able to, but you're right, they can't.
Yeah,
They
people
don't get a chance
experience
to.
hard times, going through hard times, but they don't experience seeing you know your uncle running a whole crime organization. Seeing your uncle kill people with you at a young age. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, some people gotta, get that out some way or another.
So let me see. So Angel said, because I feel like an older dude would have corrected you if you was doing something foolish. When do you transition to be the older guy helping mold a younger one? When it's established that that is your younger person, that's your younger guy, that's your younger nephew or cousin or your friend's son or something like that. It could be a random person, but how many times have you seen that backfire? I don't know how often you guys watch um, self defense videos or whatever on the internet, but I've seen it, you know, go wrong a bunch of times. And I think that's another mental strength flaw. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't, and we're generalizing here, of course, but to be able to be taught to in a way where, um, that somebody correcting you or saying, hey, pointing out something that you did is wrong as, something that's going to make you even more mad. Like you can't be corrected or whatever. Because it has backfired where the older person, whatever you want to call it, end up getting beat up. And sometimes, don't get me wrong, sometimes the young dude challenged the old dude, and the old dude, put some hands to him. So, but it can go the other way, and then like Byron said, it escalates to something else, and then it becomes your issue now.
Exactly. And to be honest, it's not even worth the time. What you can do is, I mean, it might not work. Be like, hey, hey, I see this. This guy beating on this woman in the parking lot. Y'all have to come out and check this out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, that's what
No,
I'm
go
saying.
ahead.
Somebody else problems now.
Right.
Let's
It completely take it from the focus from not doing this because of XYZ to uh, yeah, I'm about to put hands on you now. Like, you don't want me putting hands on her? Well, still, you like it if I put hands on you, old man?
Yeah.
Y'all seen Friday? You want some of this too, old man? No.
And you being old, like you're not gonna really feel like throwing hands at that point.
Yeah,
So
that's exactly the point. But it sounds good. Everybody wants to be a hero, and that sounds like, yeah, mentally, but yeah, I'll step into it and I'll, save the weaker person or whatever. But that's not the truth for everyone every time. Andrew said sometimes it sucks being the better or bigger person. Yeah, it does. Uh,
but I mean, just think of a road rage situation. Like we had an episode on that, I remember.
mhm.
And you being younger, you might just be acting the fool. But as you get older, somebody blowing a horn, cussing you out, you just okay. Being a better person. I mean, nothing.
Right.
You know, you we already talked about having a strong mind just for the little stuff. So something like that, it just shouldn't bother you. Like, okay, I'm an MFer. Okay, that's cool.
Right.
Anyways,
I,
now I'm going about my day.
yeah, right, exactly. Like, so, Andrew, I agree with you that sometimes it do suck being a bigger, better person, but what's the greater good? Like, all right, um, you know, like that's a good example you just did. Like, all right, yeah, okay, or I'm whatever you said I am, cool. That's it. Like, what I'm saying. Now we going on. Now I'm gonna go about my way. Now I'll never see this person again. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
what difference does it make to me? So it does suck sometimes, but a lot of times it also can be a stress reliever or whatever. Like, just be Teflon. Nothing sticks to you.
Right. You say, oh, I don't want no problems. But then let's say, you know, they cut you off and they get out their car. Now it's a different type of situation where, okay, now this is getting serious. So me being mature, I know I have to turn on a switch. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? I've been mature about the situation now. Now you want to cause physical harm to me, and no, I'm not kidding. I'm not trying to be in the hospital. Like, I'm trying to make it home, relax. Smoke a couple cigars. I'm not trying to. No. So
Just
hey,
just some mature stuff.
yeah, exactly. So you try to de-escalate, but and then you have to go see you have to go see a therapist.
Mandatory therapist.
But yeah, man, uh, like my whole, me personally, I'm just not with the BS. But to bring it full circle, like me being older, um, I do have the mental fortitude to handle some things. Um, but if you got to go talk to somebody about it, it's nothing wrong with that either.
Right. Andrew said a week. That's ignorance talking. Think about it. It's ignorant people who don't realize therapy is hard work and you're worth it. Yeah, I mean, but so this is what we're gonna get to on the next part of this is, and it kind of plays into what you was talking about um, uh, like older people or whatever. Do people have the upbringing, the house structure? What I'm saying, dads around that's treating their moms nice and will respect and stuff to know the difference, like to know better. The same way are these girls that stand with these guys that putting hands on them, like do and not every situation is different. It might not even be that might not even be the actual deciding factor, but do is a girl growing up in a house where she's seeing her mom being treated like a person with respect and dignity, or is she seeing her mom getting whooped on and now she like, my mom stayed, I stay, or it's not that bad, it ain't, what I'm saying, I still got my teeth or whatever, what I'm saying, so my mom quit after she lost her teeth, or whatever the case is, like, so I think older people and parents, it's not so. Don't get me wrong. At some point, we talked about this last time. You do have to be like, okay, I'm a man now. I'm a woman now. I'm grown. I have to make my own decisions for me. Um, but we're talking about a younger generation, younger than us, so early 20s or say, let's say, do they have the upbringing, the structure that we had, and just that we had? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, don't get me wrong. Our times was wild. You know what I'm saying? But we had respect in our neighborhood in regards to certain stuff you just not going to do. Like the neighborhoods is not going to stand up for it. Do they have that structure at minimum?
I'm, I mean, of course, yes, but at the same time, with certain situations, no. You know, because some younger men they have to grow, they have to become men at 14.
Very
So
true.
it's a lot of experiences that they didn't learn that they should have learned, but they had to learn on their own. They had to find out the hard way. So some of them is just trying to get through and figure things out for themselves because they don't have the knowledge or the information. like like Kevin Samuel said, um, knowledge is passed on. If you don't know how to do something, another man will tell you how to do it.
It's passed down from men to men.
Even though we're in a digital age, most men get their information from other men. Hey,
Other
how
men, yeah.
how how do I establish credit? Oh, well, shit, you do this. How do you change a how do you change brake pads? Oh, I'll show you. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like, how do you change a tire? Like, that's information that's passed on from men to men. And if they don't have that, then there's a lot of things that they don't know. So they just, out in the world, just trying to figure it out and make some make the wrong decisions.
Yeah. Regina said that I've even told clients that I take what I do, and they should talk to their doctors about it. Um, yeah, like being a hairdresser, like that, and barbershops is like therapy in the black community for sure. So, yeah, I mean but that's you passing on knowledge, though. You know what I'm saying? That's you helping to it don't necessarily have to be somebody younger than you, but that's you passing on the information, you know, uh, person to person, which a lot of people don't have. Like barbershops not what they was in the past because they charging $25 a haircut, but also for other reasons. You know what I'm saying?
$30, which is crazy. And if you wanted if you had facial, you had to pay an extra like 5 or something.
And they got that in
Yeah,
mind.
25. Like, I didn't even get to experience those prices because I started cutting my hair early, and now I don't have to cut my hair. Well, I mean, I got to shave, and then I got to line up my face and trim my facial hair. But those skills were acquired at a time where I started cutting my own hair, and now I never step foot inside a barbershop ever again,
Right.
unless I become, I have so much money that I don't just have time to be cutting. I just have a barber on call 24/7.
Definitely good. Definitely a good problem to have. Um, Andrew said it's rare to see traditional families nowadays. You always have a choice though to be like what you saw or had to make better choices. Yeah, but right. But Andrew, that's what we're saying. Like the older generation, and then of course this is less and less. You know what I'm saying? From your parents, your grandparents to you, to us, or from our parents or whatever to us, to this next generation. Like it's more and more scarce. You know what I'm saying? But so what is the problem though? Like what is the where's the
I'm,
missing transfer of information happening though?
yeah, you already know why. That first, like we talked about earlier, in the '80s, I grew up part of the '80s and '90s, but um, that transfer of having that male and female in the household went away, and it just started to be only women in the household. So you have men my age who now have kids who don't have the information, either they not in that child's lives or they are in the child's lives and they not passing information
They
because
just don't have the information. You're right.
you know. Okay. I was lucky enough to have the male and a mother and a father in the same household. So I was past that information from my father. Just something like
And not
simple.
just
Huh?
not to cut you off, but not just to have a male and a female in the house, but your actual mother and father. Nigga, that's nigga, who else? Who else on 90th? Who else?
I mean, you had. Well, you ain't gonna call him your stepfather, but you had another male figure.
No. No. I'm talking about. No, I'm agreeing with you. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
No, but I'm talking about you were able to have your dad and your mom, like not just a male and a female in the house, like your actual biologicals on both sides. You know what I'm saying? That's just a blessing, nigga. Because
Yeah.
that shit ain't wrong.
A very rare occurrence, and it is a blessing. But the fuck I
You
was
better
going.
say it's a blessing because he listening.
I'm trying to remember what I was going. Oh, so yeah. So my father, taught me like a lot of little stuff that I use to this day. I just mentioned the cutting the hair thing. That's one of the reasons I started cutting my own hair. Like, so, nigga, I saved a lot of money by learning how to do that, man. And once you figure out aligners cost, I think aligners is like $40-$50. Once you figure that out, you can get you, you know, some trimmers. That's all you need. And then watch videos and watch people in barbershops, all the techniques that they use, and then you'll be cool. You're gonna mess up, but you'll get it right. But then that goes to changing brakes, changing oil, like little stuff like that. Like I'd have met other men who nigga was my age, and he didn't know how to change his oil on his car. He didn't know how to change his tire on his car, which to me was just common sense. Like how, nigga, like how? I thought this was normal. This was things that you just normally knew.
All right, I can get oil. Let's say you're a person that grew up with a couple bucks. You've been working so long, you can, oil. I can kind of understand, even though.
And yeah, but okay. What about a tire though?
With the tire though, yeah, because that can happen to anybody anytime. You're on the side of a road for hours waiting on AAA, or your lady have a, what I'm saying, like that. The tire is unforgivable, in my opinion, for male and female, but more so males because that's just the society we live in. I have to say that people don't stay committed. They hop from relationship to relationship, right? And when you do that, you not so you and this is how the human psychological profile works. It to me at least, I don't know. Scientifically, I'm sure it checks out though. So we are how old we are to each other at the age that we meet each other. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? Like I met you when I was, you know, 10 or 11 or whatever, and you was however old. So we talk to each other as if we are not, saying stupid stuff. You know what I mean? Like mentally we are still that close because I knew you. That's the age of what I met you. Where the age of which you met your boss or whatever, you're gonna talk to him a certain way, not just because it's your boss, or older guy, just any older random person, because you are that age, like the age gap between y'all at the time that y'all met. Does that make sense? I feel like it makes sense, but I'm not explaining it right.
Uh, I mean, excuse me. It does make sense because, for example, you know how people will say, "Oh, I knew you when." They always say, "I knew you when you was this tall." You know what I'm saying? Like you will forever remember when they were a baby. You just can't believe,
right, that they this tall now.
Yeah, that they're right, that they're grown. Like,
right.
I mean, you won't necessarily treat them like a baby, but at the same time, like you treat them like I don't know, like a little brother or something. I don't know,
Exactly.
like
Even if you
like
meet, go ahead.
you know, like a nephew or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, that's crazy though. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Even if it's just a older person, let's say your dad's coworker, like it wasn't somebody you grew up knowing, like you met him at so and so. So that's always gonna be Mr. Robinson or whatever to you because you were your age when you met him. You know what I'm saying? Like so mentally, and he's always gonna look at you like that's little so and so. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how the human psyche works. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, that was my little interjection to if some people are going from relationship to relationship and none of that information is being passed down to let's say the kid, the step kid or whatever, because when the new stepdad comes in, he's like, oh, you 12, you should know this, and this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even gonna cover that, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case is. Or you 16, I'm not gonna have to tell you any of this stuff. You 16. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying that's how the human psyche works. Uh, unless you go back and say, um, you know, that do you know this stuff? Did they teach you this stuff?
Right.
Do you need to talk to somebody? Is there like how do you feel?
Um, but since we're on the topic of males who didn't have other males growing up,
Wait.
I,
Let me you gotta
I,
wait. I don't want to cut you off, but I don't want to get too far. We already kind of far from that video I want to play. Let me play that video real quick, and then then we can go back to your point. Just remember your point.
Not really, no.
So you want to get mad and hit the computer because you made a mistake? Because your company made a mistake? You want to take it out on me?
I'm not taking it out on you.
So why did you get mad and hit the computer? Why did you get mad and hit the computer?
Because I have met.
I'm sure you're on camera, right?
Yeah, I am.
I'm sure you're on camera. So this is the type of people they have working here.
I gotta go, man. I gotta go. You ruined my life. You ruined my whole life, man.
Wow. You gotta be kidding me.
I'm speechless right now. Like, did he run that back one more time, please?
Yeah, I mean, let me close some of these.
I ain't never seen that one before.
Let me close some of these the windows.
Not really, no.
So you want to get mad and hit the computer because you made a mistake? Because your company made a mistake? You want to take it out on me?
I'm not taking it out on you.
So why did you get mad and hit the computer? Why did you get mad and hit the computer?
Because I have met.
I'm sure you're on camera, right?
Yeah, I am.
I'm sure you're on camera. So this is the type of people they have working here.
I gotta go, man. I gotta go. You ruined my life. You ruined my whole life, man.
Wow. You gotta be kidding me.
Wow, that's the definition of a real life breakdown. I've never seen even a dude filming couldn't believe what he was seeing. I never had a day so bad at work that I resorted to punching myself in the face, then headbutting the monitor, and then going in the back crying. Like, I never had that bad of a day at work in my life. He must got some other stuff going on, but he said that he ruined his life. There's not even an explanation of why a guest at a hotel will ruin your life. I don't. That must be them Holiday Inn workers or something. Like I don't know. If they, hey, I worked at a hotel before. It's probably like one of the shittiest jobs because they don't pay and you got to give superior customer service. But then you get people, you got to deal with people who think they're at home or something, and everything got to be like their house. But anyways, so I get that part, but never have I said, "You, sir, have ruined my day," and went in the back and started crying. Like I never.
So as absurd as that video is, it's, so taking a step back from that though, from the actual video, let's talk about his mental wherewithal, right?
None whatsoever.
No,
Like,
look, I don't want to say that. Like, I don't know what all he was going through. You know what I'm saying? But to not be able to, I don't know, because the guy, the black guy, or I know he's a black dude. He wasn't like yelling at him or whatever. But he probably was persistent and being annoying, etc. I mean, you know, who knows what other stuff that guy was going, that kid was going through. Um, yeah, but could you see that happening to a 40-year-old man?
yes, I can.
Okay.
Because I don't care what age you are, you can still. I mean, I'm not. I'm not saying I could. I go to that level, but I'm saying I have seen guys that are in their 70s and 80s who who decided that they don't want a traffic ticket anymore, so they decide to pull out a gun on a cop right in front of them just cause. And they
Okay. I think that's, I get you. I think that's a little different than, you think that's the same as like not having the mental capacity to accept a speeding ticket. Like, you think it goes beyond that or no?
no, don't go beyond that. Like, or he might have been drunk or something like that. But I can't really remember the situation. But I know that he was either going to get a ticket or go to jail or something like that. He was going to get cited for something. But and they were. I'm sure it was like a ticket, and they were just going to let him go on his way. But he didn't want to roll down the window. He didn't want to get out the car or none of that stuff. They said, "Don't touch the gun." They gave him every option in the world, but he still wanted to do what he wanted to do. But this situation that we just saw the video of, he was just at work, and the company made a mistake, or he made a mistake. I'm not sure, and man, he just went off the rails. I mean, something. Okay, of course, something underlying. He had an underlying. I don't want to say condition because I don't know the man, but he had an underlying problem where he just couldn't take. It seemed like he couldn't take life anymore because the reaction was crazy. Like he had to, like, my dude just stopped talking and just had to film because he couldn't believe what he was seeing. Like, I don't.
Yeah, I would have did the same thing. I would have been in shock. It's not
Look,
too much stuff that shocked me, but when I seen that, I'm like, man, how like, if this is the catalyst, if this is the thing that puts you over, not being able to deal with a customer at work, then uh, I don't know if he's gonna make it through the day regardless.
right. Wow. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, some people don't have. They don't know how to compartmentalize things especially when they go to work. You might have a problem at home, but you go to work, you leave your problems at home. You know what I'm saying? But he totally lost it. Like,
I mean, and it can go on to become a worse situation, like more, worse and worse, and that kid could go hurt himself or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Seemed like,
Huh?
I said, which would it seem like he would do by his, not only his manner, what he physically did to himself, but what he said. You know,
Ruined my entire life, right?
yeah. Was it because he was about to be put on the internet, or did he think he was getting fired? You know, I don't know what he was thinking. But I wouldn't do that though. Like,
yeah, I don't know, but I don't know. Stuff like that though. Stuff like that is the psyche of the younger generation. And I wish we had younger people on here to talk to, so we don't just sound like old, cranky old guys.
but look though, I give him I give him the benefit of the doubt, just because he could have a mental illness that he needs to get either diagnosed, or he wasn't on his medicine or something. You know, I give him that. Something was obviously off for that to happen. Now, if neither of those things was the case, then we could clearly say that he lacked the mental fortitude to handle a problem in a customer service position.
Okay, I'll give you that. That's a great point. That's a great point. Because we don't got all the information, so even though all we're doing here is generalizing anyway, but that you're right. There could be other factors or whatever. But you would think when you're at working age, not all mental stuff is diagnosed by the time you start working or whatever. But if you are taking medicine or something like that, then you you probably have enough mental capacity to take your medicine. You know what I'm saying? Or that somebody should be helping you take your medicine, or that you shouldn't be allowed to work alone because you are a liability at, for taking your medicine or whatever. So I don't know. We can keep going down the. You got fired for sure. But we can keep going down the rabbit hole with that. You know what I'm saying? Is it this or is it that? But you did bring up a great point that there could be other factors besides just not having the mental fortitude in order to handle that type of a situation.
Now, like when Corona happened, excuse me, when Corona happened and everybody was in a lockdown, everybody was in the house, some people couldn't handle long periods of not being able to socialize with other people. Me, I love that. I started working out, watching shows, TV shows. Started watching the show that you recommended to me. Playing video games. Finding ways to, keep my mind off. Being inside of the house for 3 months, which was fine with me. But some people couldn't even handle that. I need. We need the gym to be open. I can't work out.
Soundboard.
We need the park. I need a drink.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people can't handle change.
The funny thing about that gym, like people was protesting from like the governor's office, but they were like protesting about working out. Like, well, you already working out. Like, you don't need the gym. You're doing push-ups right here in front of the governor's office. You don't need a gym. You know what I'm saying? Like, people was doing jump work and jump roping and all that type of, like, you're working out already. This is not going to make them open the gym anyway. This is a sidebar. People are slow. Sorry, man. Well, that's where we're gonna leave it for this time. I'm gonna try to work on getting somebody young to come on and talk to us from their point of view. We didn't really get a chance to talk on the young lady point of view, but I think
we really can't at the same time.
Well, right. No, I agree. But I think there are enough overlap, you know what I'm saying, to like just being a younger person and you know, the same way you say, you know, you didn't have a dad in the house to teach you these things or pass it down. Maybe they didn't have a mom in the house, or the mom was busy working, so she couldn't pass down the information, or you know what I'm saying, like whatever the case. There's enough overlap where um, we can kind of draw similarities at least, you know what I'm saying. But I do wish it was, you know, just a different point of view, a different perspective of somebody younger. So I'm gonna try to work on that and see if we can get somebody just to get a different point of view, different perspective, to come on the show, and we can revisit this a little bit later for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So thank y'all for tuning in. As a disclaimer, if you if you are feeling like the guy in the video, go talk to somebody. You know, go talk to a therapist. They have hotline numbers you can call to get yourself some help. And I'm not even meaning that as you know, being funny. I'm serious. But I'm just thinking about the video. Just do that too. It's crazy. But yeah, don't be afraid to seek help if you feel like you know, you're having a mental breakdown. Thank y'all for tuning in once again. On Wednesdays, be sure to check out Politics with Emmanuel. Fridays, be sure to check out Let's Get Takeout food reviews. It's on Instagram. I got to put it on YouTube eventually. I will. I can't put it on Facebook. I don't have Facebook anymore. For right now, I got to take a break for my mental sanity. But also, be sure to check out, and during the course of Ebony J. She's taking a little break right now, but you can catch all of her old shows because I'm sure y'all haven't seen all of them. So be sure to go to any streaming platform and you'll be able to find it there. And that's all I got to say. But remember to own your own, and you can do what we're doing right now.
How wild would it be if I just flipped out and punched myself and broke the computer screen?
What? You said punch yourself. Broke the computer screen.
Hey, owning your own can be stressful too, but it's much easier to navigate than our friend in the other video in the video. So Byron said it all. You guys be safe out there. Have a great week. Looking forward to talking to y'all. Sunday should be a pretty good show, so come on back, share. We got to start getting back to old people that we had on here. We're missing some folks. Get everybody, get the gang back together, and keep sharing these videos for us. Keep you know, mention us wherever. All that good stuff, man. We appreciate y'all more than you know. So thank you. Stay safe, and we'll talk to y'all in a couple days. This is what Byron do when you turn the camera off. Salute to the city as always. We out of here.
Not really, no.
So you want to get mad and hit the computer because you made a mistake? Because your company made a mistake? You want to take it out on me?
I'm not taking it out on you.
So why did you get mad and hit the computer? Why did you get mad and hit the computer?
Because I have no.
I'm sure you're on camera, right?
Yeah, I am.
I'm sure you're on camera. So this is the type of people they have working here.
I gotta go, man. I gotta go. You ruined my life. You ruined my whole life, man.
Wow. You gotta be kidding me.